Imagine this: a billionaire, used to commanding boardrooms and bending the world to his will, utterly defeated by the cries of his own baby on a packed flight. Then, out of nowhere, a young stranger from the back of the plane steps up, not with wealth or power, but with something far greater: compassion. That single act of kindness didn't just silence the cries. It rewrote the futures of everyone involved. Buckle up, because this is a story of how one moment can spark a lifetime of change. Elliot Harper, a 40-year-old tech mogul, sat in the plush seats of first class, his 6-month-old daughter, Mia, wailing uncontrollably in his arms. For 2 hours, her cries had pierced the cabin of the flight from Chicago to San Francisco, drowning out the hum of the engines. Elliot, a man who'd built a fortune solving problems with a single email, was unraveling. "Please, Mia, sweetheart," he whispered, rocking her gently. He tried everything: bottles, pacifiers, soft lullabies from his phone. Nothing worked. Mia's tiny face was red, her fists balled up, her cries raw with distress. The other passengers weren't hiding their frustration. A businessman across the aisle shot Elliot a glare before shoving in his earbuds. A woman in a tailored suit muttered, "Can't he do something?" The flight attendant, her smile strained, approached again. "Mr. Harper, perhaps a warm towel for her forehead?" "Tried it," Elliot replied, his voice tight. He was alone on this trip. His wife, Lauren, was stuck in Chicago with the flu. Mia's cries were louder now, a desperate sound that made Elliot feel like the worst father alive. In economy, the noise carried like a storm. Passengers shifted uncomfortably, some covering their ears, others whispering complaints. 3 hours of this?" a man grumbled. "Someone needs to parent that kid." Elliot's cheeks burned with embarrassment. He was used to respect, control, success. But here, in seat 3A, he was just a dad failing miserably. The attendant returned, her tone polite but firm. "Sir, we've had complaints. Would you mind taking her to the rear galley? It's quieter there." Humiliated, Elliot grabbed the diaper bag and carried Mia to the back, her cries echoing through the plane. In the cramped galley, Elliot leaned against the wall, exhaustion and defeat washing over him. Mia's screams were relentless, her little body trembling. "I'm so sorry, everyone," he said to no one in particular, his voice cracking. That's when a figure appeared from the economy rows, a lanky teenager, maybe 15, with a worn hoodie and a backpack slung over one shoulder. His dark eyes were calm, his steps steady. "Excuse me, sir," he said softly. "Can I help with her?" Elliot blinked, caught off guard. "You? How?" The boy smiled faintly. "I've got experience with babies. May I try?" Desperate, Elliot nodded. "Be my guest." The teenager, whose name was Jamal Carter, took Mia with a gentleness that belied his age. He cradled her against his shoulder, his hand moving in slow, deliberate circles on her back. "It's okay, little one," he murmured, his voice low and soothing. To Elliot's astonishment, Mia's cries softened within seconds, turning to whimpers, then silence. The galley, once a battlefield of noise, was now calm. Passengers nearby stared, jaws dropping. "How did you do that?" Elliot asked, his voice barely a whisper. Jamal kept his eyes on Mia. "She's got colic. The pressure in the cabin makes it worse. My little brother had it bad. I learned this trick, specific spots, light pressure. Works like magic." Elliot watched, awestruck, as Jamal adjusted Mia, laying her across his forearm, her head nestled in his palm. The baby sighed, her body relaxing completely. "You're a miracle worker," Elliot said, shaking his head. "Not really," Jamal replied. "Just practice. My mom works long shifts, so I take care of my brother a lot." Elliot noticed the boy's clothes, clean but faded, sneakers patched with care. "How old are you?" 15, Jamal said. "And you're traveling alone?" "Yeah. Heading to San Francisco for a science fair. I want a scholarship to compete." Elliot's eyebrows shot up. "A science fair? Like a big one?" Jamal shrugged, modest. "The National STEM Challenge. I built a solar-powered water purifier." A woman nearby piped up. "That's Jamal Carter. He was in the local news. Kid from Detroit, science prodigy." Jamal flushed, focusing on Mia, who was now dozing. "It's just a project," he mumbled. Elliot studied him, seeing more than a kid with a knack for babies. This was someone extraordinary, humble, brilliant, and kind. "Jamal," he said, "where are you staying in San Francisco?" "At the fair's dorms. It's covered by the scholarship, but just for me." "And after the competition? Any plans?" Jamal shook his head. "No money for extras. I'll probably study in the dorms." Something stirred in Elliot's chest, not pity, but respect. Here was a kid who'd faced more responsibility at 15 than most adults, yet still carried himself with quiet dignity. "Jamal, I'm in San Francisco for a few days. How about you help me with Mia while I'm there? I'll pay you, and you can see the city, eat some good food." Jamal hesitated, cautious. "Why would you do that?" "Because you just turned my worst day into a miracle," Elliot said. "And I think you deserve a break." Jamal looked at Mia, now sleeping peacefully. "Okay," he said finally. "I'll help." When the plane landed, Elliot and Jamal exchanged numbers. The next morning, they met at a cozy diner near the science fair venue. Jamal, unused to such places, stared at the menu like it was a treasure map. "Order anything," Elliot said, rocking a calm Mia. Jamal chose pancakes and juice, hesitant to ask for more. Elliot added waffles, eggs, and a milkshake. "You're a national competitor," he said. "Eat like one." Over breakfast, Jamal explained his project, a purifier that could bring clean water to underserved communities. "I got the idea from my neighborhood," he said. "Our water's been bad for years." Elliot listened, impressed. "You taught yourself to build that?" "Mostly," Jamal said. "The library's got free Wi-Fi and some engineering books. I figured out the rest." "And you're only 15? "Yeah. Been taking care of my brother since I was 11. Had to grow up fast." Elliot leaned back, his mind racing. This kid wasn't just smart. He was a problem solver, a caretaker, a survivor. "Jamal," he said, "I want to make you an offer. No pressure, but hear me out. I'd like to fund your education, private school, tutors, whatever you need to take your talent to the next level." Jamal nearly choked on his juice. "Why would you do that?" "Because you're the kind of person the world needs more of," Elliot said. "You're brilliant, but you're also good. That's rare." Jamal looked away, overwhelmed. "I don't know, Mr. Harper. That's a lot." "Think about it," Elliot said. "The offer's open." They spent the next 2 days together, Jamal helping with Mia, who adored him, and Elliot showing him San Francisco's sights. The Golden Gate Bridge, cable cars, bustling markets, Jamal soaked it all in, his eyes wide with wonder. On the final day of the science fair, Jamal's project won first place. Elliot was there, cheering louder than anyone. "I knew you had it in you," he said, clapping Jamal on the back. Jamal grinned, holding his trophy. "This feels like a dream." "It's real," Elliot said. "And it's just the beginning." That night, Elliot called Lauren. "I met someone incredible," he told her. "This kid, Jamal, he's going to change the world." "Then help him," Lauren said. "You've always had a knack for spotting potential." Back in Detroit, Elliot met Jamal's mother, Tanya, a single mom working 2 jobs to support her kids. Their apartment was small but filled with love. Photos of Jamal and his brother, Malik, lined the walls. "Mrs. Carter," Elliot said over dinner, "your son's a genius. I want to fund his education, move you to a safer neighborhood, give him the tools to shine." Tanya's eyes filled with tears. "Why us?" she asked. "Because Jamal helped me when I was at my lowest," Elliot said. "And because he's got a gift the world needs." Tanya hesitated, then nodded. "If it's for my boy's future, I accept." Jamal hugged his mom, then Elliot. "Thank you," he whispered. "I'll make you proud." "You already have," Elliot said. Over the next year, Jamal thrived at a top STEM academy, his grades soaring. He built apps to help low-income students access free tutoring, never forgetting his roots. Elliot's company hired him as a junior consultant, and at 16, Jamal presented his water purifier at a global tech conference, earning a standing ovation. One evening, as Jamal played with Mia and Malik in their new home, Tanya pulled Elliot aside. "You didn't just change my son's life," she said. "You gave us hope." Elliot smiled, watching Jamal laugh with the kids. "He gave me hope too," he said. "He reminded me why I do what I do, to lift up people who lift up others." And that's the story of how a cry on a plane became a call to change the world. If this story touched your heart, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next tale of hope and transformation. Share your thoughts in the comments. What moment in your life changed everything? Your likes and shares help us keep bringing you stories that inspire. Let's keep the journey going together.